Welcome to another episode of The American Dream, the only show that combats negative media by highlighting what makes this country so great city by city. Today, you're going to see something really cool. We're going to be focusing on the living history of our country. We have compiled some segments throughout the week that show what makes history in all of our cities incredible when it comes to real estate, lifestyle, and culture. You're going to love today's episode. Let's start The American Dream right now.
We do it in the spirit of going against the grain of the negative media, giving inspiring information, and having people walk away from our show with something of value.
You're seeing a disruption in both the real estate and the mortgage space.
A lot of people are just not willing to put in the work.
What video does is that it demands an emotional response.
You know what I love about this show? It's totally unscripted.
All right, today's show is about living history, but never forget The American Dream is a national show that still integrates what's happening in your local marketplace. So let's bring you your first local market update right now.
This is Ken Jones with the SKL Group at eXp Realty. Beautiful Boca Ciega Bay. We have John's Pass out here and just some amazing real estate in the area that we'd like to highlight for you. I'd like to take a minute to introduce everyone on the team. We are known as the SKL Group at eXp Realty, and each of the members bring a lot of expertise to all of what we do, and I think it's important to highlight those things for you. So my wife, Michelle, is the first one I'd like to talk about. She's really the glue of our team and not only sells a lot of houses, but she also handles all of the transaction management for the rest of the team. Definitely somebody that you'll experience firsthand because she definitely talks to all of our clients as we work through the process with them. Tony Holden is a former executive in the agricultural industry and has an outstanding business background. As with all the members of our team, he has an unbelievable work ethic and brings so much to his clients and adds a ton of value for them. Matt Mish, he's a retired police officer from Pennsylvania, brings all of that experience, and you'll always know that Matt has your back. Justin has extensive sales experience as well as doing a lot of construction rehab. Myself, my name is Ken Jones. I have 30 plus years experience in financial services, and I am the team leader of the SKL Group.
I live in Pittsburgh, and I had to come down here, for a few days at a time, and you guys were great. The process from being away, many states away, was just so smooth. I didn't have to come back down here. I was able to buy my house by signing my signature on the phone.
All right, we're about to exit the Tiki Tour and we're about to head over to Tracy's house. We're here on Louisa Drive in Bel Air Beach, Florida. It's a beautiful area. So Tracy and Rick were my clients. We purchased a home with them, and also we helped them sell a previous home over in Largo. So I'd like to introduce you to Tracy and get some perspectives from her on how the whole purchase and sale process went. And then we're going to also talk to her contractor who's here about a lot of the upgrades that he has done at the house as well.
We were over the causeway before we purchased this house, and we knew we loved the area, but to be over on this side by the beach on the intercoastal has just changed everything. Mm-hmm. We love to walk on the beach, we love to bike ride down here, boat. It's just totally different from one side to the other. That's all I can say. Hi, I want to introduce you to my contractor, Mark. He transformed his house for Rick and I to what we wanted, a big, open, beachy feel, comfortable for all our guests.
Well, you guys wanted that open kitchen concept, and we came in, took what was a load-bearing wall here, upset a beam in the attic to give you your big open island. Works out perfect as you're going from one side to the other.
thank you very much for watching this episode of American Dream TV.
Our little history quiz for you. Do you know who Mr. Showmanship is? Came out of Vegas. Liberace, musician, actor, pianist. We went out to his home in Vegas to check out this cool story with the Bachelor and Hannah team. Let's go check it out.
So today we're at the Liberace Mansion, which is a true piece of Las Vegas history.
Right.
We get to see this property, get an exclusive look. We're going to meet with the owner who has completely restored the property.
Destiny. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
It needed it screaming, please help me, you know. And I was fascinated by Liberace as a child, and that's the reason I play the piano today. I've been not only to bring it back to life, but I've actually been able to bring music back to the mansion as well.
That's amazing.
Which it really needed.
And actually, Las Vegas is very lucky to have you, because when we see properties like this that are really an iconic piece of history, and I see that they've been restored, and being someone who's lived in Las Vegas the majority of my whole life, I almost get a little bit emotional about it, because we don't have a lot of history that has been done in Las Vegas. Kind of, we do everything new and better, and
we tear everything down and
tear
make
it down
it new.
and start over. And so to see this piece and actually have this tour today, and to see the beauty that you've restored in this property, I'm very excited for. So I just want to say thank you for that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Now, you see these two marble columns here,
Wow.
and the two marble columns just a little ahead. This is the end of one of the houses.
Okay.
And then
the beginning of the
there
next.
was the gap, and then there's the beginning of that one. But it was merged, and then another floor was put up as well. This became, once again, a very, very famous piece. He paid $350,000 for this in 1974, and it was in Variety.
$350,000 in 1974.
It was in
So what's that, about $1 million today?
Something like that, yeah.
Now, when you took it over, how much of this was here and how much of it wasn't here?
The ceiling was hanging down. There were two sinkholes, and I had to have the floors and the drill, because there's sand underneath it. So I had to make it to concrete, hundreds of tons of concrete, and there were pylons, steel pylons with propeller-style blades on them to lift and support everything.
Wow.
They said at the time, the engineers, they said, had I not done what I did, the house would have collapsed in 18 months.
So
it would already be gone by now.
Phenomenal.
Oh, well, this was a direct blood descendant of Michelangelo, and his name was Stefano Thorpe. This is the closest thing you're going to come to the Vatican this summer.
Yeah, and every night when you go to bed, this is what you see.
It really is. And this was his bedroom.
Wow.
This was once his pool, where he played on the piano key Paul. And however, when this went up for sale after he died in 1988 in the famous auction in 1988, the Liberace auction, they filled in the pool and got permission to have an event centre. This is a piece of history in itself. Liberace bought this staircase from a can-can bar in Paris.
Wow.
Now, the reason it hit the newspapers is because of the cost of the transportation. To get it across the ocean and the continent cost $75,000, because it had to be in dollars. It had to be transported in one piece. Now, this is his favorite room, the Moroccan room.
The Moroccan room. Bill's already up here doing it.
Soaking up the Liberace history.
There's a very positive energy in this room.
There is. And just the natural light, and just being, I feel like you can almost feel the spirits of everyone who has been here. You are truly just a man after my heart, because I love that you've restored this history here. I know Daryl's really enjoyed it, and just everything down to just the furniture pieces. You've done an amazing job, and we thank you today for your time.
Thank you, good self.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Nice to meet you.
You're most welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And now we're going to finish up by showing another little piece of iconic history, Michael's Restaurant here at the South Point.
And Michael's has been in business for almost 40 years. They've hosted many celebrities, many Las Vegas mobsters.
And we're going to interview the guy here, Jose, who knows where all the bones are buried, pretty much.
He does. He is the key to the castle. He has the keys. He's going to have an interview with us and tell us what Las Vegas holds behind these doors. Come on,
check it out.
Carlson. So, Jose, we're so excited today to be with you and be at beautiful Michael's Restaurant, where we know you have seen countless celebrities, you've seen countless very famous, iconic people, and we want to talk a little bit about that Las Vegas history.
Yes.
So what can you tell us?
We moved out here to the South Point in 2007. And the only original two pieces is the dome on the front door.
Wow.
And everything else is the same colors, same
Exact replicas, right?
This is how it was before. Yeah.
carpet.
What other celebrities have you hosted at this
We had a lot
restaurant?
of sports celebrities. Dan Marino, Boomer Esiason.
Now, you don't have to confirm or deny, but I might have heard a few little rumors that there could have been, you know, over its life, maybe a couple mobsters that came in and had dinner here. So I know that it's a nice restaurant to entertain, we'll say.
Yes. Yeah, I wouldn't disclose that part because some of them are still alive.
Some of them are still alive.
I don't want no problem.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we
I don't blame
any
you.
Problems. Any problems with any. That's
No names.
awesome. I love hearing all the sports stars that have been here and just having that piece of Las Vegas history. I love that it's iconic. I love that you have the original dome from almost 40 years ago. And I just appreciate your service. I appreciate you having us here. But you know what?
Yeah, thank you.
I think I'm getting hungry. Are you hungry?
Absolutely. Let's
I
eat.
think we should have a meal. All right. Well, that's a wrap. Thank you so much.
Thank
Jose.
you,
We
Jose.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Let's eat.
All right.
All right, now here's a cool story. Talk about real estate, Al Capone in southern Florida. This is a home that Al Capone used to peddle alcohol during Prohibition. Really cool story coming at you from Orlando. Let's check it out.
Jules, I'm wearing my nice clothes, my beautiful jacket. What are we doing out here?
We are sitting in Casadega, Florida, otherwise known as the psychic capital of the world. Besides being a wonderful area to connect with the other side, it's also a historic site. And there's an extra special property that I'm gonna take you to. And if you're lucky, I may even treat you to lunch at one of my favorite restaurants in all of Central Florida. Welcome to the Pines. We're in this 1926 historic home that has certain extra special attributes besides being a beautiful property. And we're fortunate enough that my buddy Teresa, who happens to have this listing, is gonna give us some more details as we go through an extra special tour of this property. Hey Teresa, good to see you.
Hey there, thank you so much for showcasing our home. This home was built in 1926, as you referenced. It's a beautiful two-story home that has beautiful original heart pine wood floors and beautiful craftsman French doors surrounding this ballroom. It's got 5,040 square feet and it's got 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths. It's got a pool house next door that's not attached to the home because we wanted to maintain the integrity of this beautiful home.
You know, the home also has lots of upgrades to make it modern and comfortable for anybody that wants it. So as the legend goes, Al Capone may have spent time doing some of his naughty little things with bootlegging. If he had stayed in this home, then it's possible that when they went up into the attic, that there's a really cool spot where you get a good sense of what's coming and going around the property. I just think it's just cool to be up there, and you can store anything you need. It's got complete flooring, and it's actually pretty cool, as in temperate. You may not realize that because of where we are in Florida and throughout more of the northern part of the state, many, many homes actually do have proper basements. And this is completely dry and way cooler than you would imagine. Probably about 10 degrees cooler. And it would make the perfect wine cellar. So if you or someone you know would love to own a piece of history right outside of Orlando and just a few minutes from Daytona Beach, give us a call and we'd be happy to bring you to this home. Right now they're asking $665,000 for just under an acre of history.
Hey, Jules.
You found found the bar I told you
Of course,
about.
you know, every place I go, I've got to find the bar, and this is beautiful.
So what do you think of this little hamlet of
I
Pasadena and Lake Helen?
absolutely love it. So what's great about this is you drive into the city and it's comfortable, you're serene. And I haven't been here since high school or college. I was telling someone that earlier. But everybody's so friendly and open, and then the history is just overwhelmingly amazing to me.
Isn't that cool?
It really
so
is.
speaking of history, you guys at Freedom Mortgage happen to have some of the unique products required to be able to get a loan on a historic property. Can you tell us a little bit about what our viewers need to know?
Yeah, it's not as scary as people make it out to be. The biggest obstacle, I think, is the comps, which are the comparables, which try to find a house that is the same age or designated as a historic home. It can be hard to find that around your neighborhood. So the comps, trying to find the value really is the biggest challenge. Things like insurance used to be a big deal to try to get that, but companies have come around and there's a lot of insurers that will insure more historic homes, like the beautiful home, the Pines that you were in.
And then, so when it comes to finding the loan product for a property like that, it's pretty much standard, like a traditional conventional loan is no problem.
Correct. It's really standard. So I want to encourage anybody who's watching, don't be afraid of it. You can get the loan just as you would qualify for any other traditional loan. We just have to do a few extra steps, but we know how to do that. So if you haven't seen that house, you definitely want to go visit it.
Oh, thanks so much. So if you think you might be interested in talking to Ted about getting a loan to buy the Pines, reach out to us. We're happy to help.
Please do. Thanks for having me.
All right, having fun with today's history show, but don't forget, the American Dream is a show centered around real estate and lifestyle in your own backyard. So let's go to our next local segment so you see what's happening in your city.
Hello everyone, this is Tony Holden with eXp Realty. Welcome to my episode of American Dream. So a little history about John's Pass. John's Pass was named after a famous pirate. John was the first person to actually sail through after a hurricane in 1948, divided what is known as Madeira Beach and Treasure Island in half. Before, the pass was never there. So the locals, we just call it the Pass. And it's named after John Levick, the very first person to ever sail through. John hid his treasure on Madeira Beach, and when he came back after the hurricane, he couldn't find it. So he lived out the rest of his days here in Madeira Beach, looking for his treasure by night, fishing by day. And he lived long enough to see it become a famous fishing village in late 1800s. Hello everyone, we're here at Madeira Bay Marina. We're at the Mad Beach Fish House with Shirley, who is the dock master and the yacht salesman for the area. We're gonna ask Shirley a few questions about what she really loves about living in Florida. What does the Florida lifestyle mean to you, Shirley?
It means boating and fishing and families and resorts and fun.
We're back on my boat and we're about to head out from Madeira Beach, run up John's Pass, take the Intercoastal up to Caddies. So while we're on the water here at Indian Shores and Indian Rocks Beach, I want to take just a few moments to talk to you about the market here on the water. In this particular area, there's about 132 homes for sale right now, and there's about 118 days worth of inventory. So there's about 80 homes that have sold in the last 90 days, and only with 132, you can see the market gets really tight. Now, a really interesting point about that is that about 50% of those people buying homes today in this market are using cash. What a great boat ride that was up the Intercoastal. We're now here at Caddies. Let's go inside. I want to show you one of my favorite places to eat here on the Great Intercoastal here. So we're here with Bill at Caddies. And so I'm just going to ask Bill. Hey, Bill's general manager, and so tell me what's unique about Caddies.
Caddy's is a fantastic waterfront destination for everybody, and the best part about it is you can come by car, or as you did, come by boat. That's the best part.
And the food is phenomenal.
Absolutely.
And guys, when you walk across the street right here, you're right there on the beach, or you're right here on the Intercoastal. Come and enjoy the sunshine and the food. We're about to go in and have some food.
We're gonna have a great time. It's gonna be delicious.
So this is our last stop on our episode here at Caddy's, and the buffalo shrimp, like I promised you, with a homemade blue cheese dressing. Gotta try it. Their mojito, one of the best on the beach, and their grouper Reuben. Absolutely one of my favorites. It's basically a Reuben sandwich with black grouper in it. Unbelievable, gotta try it. Come see us next time on the next episode of American Dream.
In South Tampa, we have many different neighborhoods, and Hyde Park is one of the most beautiful areas that has a beautiful park, upscale shopping, lots of restaurants. We have a lot of festivals. We have open our farmers market the first Sunday of every month, all year round. People come here, bring their kids here, they bring their families here, and it's just a really, really beautiful shaded area. And you can walk around. There's a Cinna Bistro. There's a cupcake shop where you can even get a cupcake in the ATM machine. In order to get to the beach, it only takes probably about 45 minutes from here. Tampa is a really cool city to live in. It's booming, and we have a ton of things to do here. We have recreation, we have kayaking, boating, we've got museums and theaters, and I could go on and on and on. There's so much to do here.
Tampa's a great place. We're going to take you around today. Let's go check it out.
So I want to know what the mission statement is for Buddy Brew and a little bit of the history.
Yeah, so our motto is brew good, do good, and that speaks to us wanting to make exceptional coffee. We source beans from all around the world and roast them to perfection, try to get the best flavors out of all the beans. They're roasted freshly, but also being involved in the community and globally. So in the community right now, we're doing a collaboration with On Bikes. It's an organization that builds and delivers bikes to underprivileged kids. And then globally, we are always trying to develop relationships with the farmers that we work with.
So these are all the beautiful mansions that are on Bayshore Boulevard, and they face the bay, of course. But all these homes have been, some of them are back in the 20s, and we also have some new builds as well.
Hey, we're out here by the water, and I keep hearing there are pirates in Tampa Bay. What's the scoop on that?
There are definitely pirates in Tampa Bay, and this is the world's only fully rigged pirate ship. This is the Jose Gasparilla, and it fills over 700 pirates all the way up in the crow's nest. And we have this annual huge celebration. It is the third largest celebration in the nation, and it is a huge parade down Bayshore Boulevard where there's over 70 floats and over 500,000 people come here. It is our annual festival or celebration where we have Gasparilla.
What do? Do you dress up?
Every year. I haven't missed a year of Gasparilla. And yes, I dress up. In fact, I've been on the Captain Morgan boat, the float. I've thrown beads to the crowds. And last year, I was on the crew of Rogues.
What do we have going on next? We need to head on out of here because I think our next piece is starting to...
Yeah, we got to go. I think our ride's about to take off.
Natalie, I look behind me and I'm a little bit terrified. What do you have in store for us here?
It's going to be so exciting. We're going up in the sky. It is a beautiful day. We're here at Peter O'Knight Airport in Davis Islands, and I'm going to take you up in that helicopter. We're going to go all the way over to the beaches to get a bird's eye view of how awesome our city is. You scared?
My heart is beating. I can't wait. Let's get out of here and go do it.
All right, let's go. Thanks for joining me on The American Dream. I hope you enjoyed seeing Tampa from the ground and the sky, and I'll see you next time.
Hey, we're Ken and Tina Martin coming to you from Priority National Title. One of the greatest things is home ownership to achieve the American dream. Not only as a title company do we start with the purchase contract and end with the closing, we follow this all the way through.
So you're a homeowner, you moved into your house, you got the hard part out of the way. Your first mortgage payment, once it's due, it's very common in our business for lenders to actually sell your loan. You get a letter in the mail saying make your payment to this company. Before you start doing that, make sure you call your loan officer directly and confirm with him that the letter that you received in the mail is in fact the company that you need to make your payments to. Once we record your mortgage down at the courthouse, it's very easy for scammers to get your information, slap a logo on letterhead, and tell you to make your payments to them. Remember, call your loan officer before you start making your payments somewhere else.
We're Ken and Tina Martin with Priority National Title, and that is your title tip for this week.
There you go.
All right, more of the history show. Now, this one's really cool. We're coming to you from Seattle, where we go to the tallest hill and show off this amazing home that was also lived in by the guy who built the tallest building. Let's go check this out in Seattle.
What an incredible setting. Now let me take you back in time.
Okay.
Imagine it's 1902 and you're throwing a party. All of your friends would come up along this street and they'd come up these marble staircases to join your party. How cool would that be?
That's amazing.
Right? Can you just picture them all with their ascots and their long
have to
coats?
use some imagination, right?
Absolutely.
Welcome to the grand entry.
Wow.
Look at this house. They have 2 living rooms. This is one of them. And if you come over, they probably invite you here because this is for family and close friends.
Ah, okay.
And yeah, the other one, if they don't know you that much yet, or they are not sure whether they want to talk to you yet, here is a place for the guest.
So the homeowner could choose whether or not to meet the person here. So if I showed up and they put me in this room, I should be a little disappointed?
Yes,
Ah,
yes, so be
darn it.
nice.
How many years did they spend rehabbing this house?
More than 20 years.
20 years.
Yes.
20 years. You're not going to believe that. You know, one of the things I was reading that your client had told us is he actually told the carpenter, I don't like sagging bookshelves because you all know when you put a lot of books on a shelf, it tends to bow.
Yeah.
He told him, I want the shelves strong enough to support a man. The carpenter climbed onto the bookshelves to show him that it could bear the weight.
Yes. Do you want to try that?
All right. No, I don't want to try that.
Okay.
I'll take his word for it. I'm surrounded by gold. Incredible. In fact, the medallions around the chandeliers were hand painted by an artist in Tennessee who specializes in Southern Mansion chandelier medallions. Let's show him where the rest of the meal comes from. So this room actually used to have a hallway that connected to the kitchen. And so what the chef would do is prepare the meal by course, and then the servants would come and they would wait in this room. There's a pocket door right here. And so when they heard the bell ring, they would bring the next course out.
This is one of 2 master suites, but this is a huge one. It's not just huge, it's also when you live here, you have that royal family feeling because when you stay in the bed, you can see Space Needle, and also as lady, you can check out who is coming.
That's right, that's right. The lady of the house would come to this railing right here, and be able to look down onto the foyer and see who was coming into the home. You know, they'd funnel one of them off into the lower class living room or funnel them over to the higher class, but she could decide whether or not she wanted to greet them, right?
That's right. So if you are at Len, that side.
Yeah.
Janice side, this side.
Why do I keep getting downgraded? What master suite is complete without its own kitchen? W.J. Whitney, who's the gentleman that first built this home, is also the guy who built the Columbia Tower, the tallest building in the Seattle skyline.
Wow, that's amazing, huh?
It's pretty neat.
Yeah. Wow. I know you would have a wall here.
She has the best view in the entire house.
I know.
That's
I know.
incredible. I'm looking at Mount Rainier, Space Needle, Seattle Center, Elliott Bay, the entire downtown skyline. I can see the Cascade Mountains. This is incredible. I would never leave.
Then you can buy this home. You can have the view forever.
All right, you take cash?
Sure.
What we're sitting on right now is an outcropping of the house. This home was built on a promontory, actually a big rock. And because of that, it was allowed to be built about 12 feet forward of the houses on either side. So those houses have great views. Our house has 210 degrees of great views that go from the Olympics through Elliott Bay, downtown, all the way over to the Cascades, and all unobstructed. It is incredible. What an incredible house, Janice. Thank you so much for including me and showing it to me. I think our viewers are going to love it and can't wait for people to see it firsthand.
You can schedule a private tour with me and go to seattletopproperties.com and I'll show you around.
Thanks for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you next time on American Dream TV, Seattle.
Hey, that's all for today's show. Even though the U.S. has one of the shortest histories, it's one of the coolest. And I hope you enjoyed today's real estate and lifestyle pieces we showed you about the history of our country. Now, don't forget also, we'd love for you to breathe oxygen into this positive message of the American Dream. Please follow us on social media, and don't forget to tune in next week for another episode of the American Dream.
The preceding program was sponsored by Ignite Now Media with promotional consideration by its affiliated partners.